Disabilities Issues and Updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living, Abilities in Motion.
Disabilities Issues and Updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living.
Hello and welcome to Disability Issues and Updates. I am Teresa Faulkner, your host. I am the Community Outreach Coordinator at Abilities in Motion. We are located at 210 North 5th Street, Reading, Pennsylvania. You can reach us at 610-376-0010. Push 0 for the operator. If you'd like to speak directly to me, my extension is 108. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media. Please feel free to contact me with suggestions for future topics. Today we have a special information center, and we have some gentlemen who came all the way from Allentown, Lehigh Valley, and they are going to be dealing with telecommunications and assistive technology. The actual number will come up if you'd like to call in for questions and concerns, but let me just introduce our guests. To my right is Greg Bott. I'm sorry, Greg. And he is the Lehigh Valley SIL Director of Development. Next to him is Ralph Aurora. Yep. Okay, and he is the Coordinator of Accessibility Programs. And on our end is Ralph, Bob, I'm sorry,
That's
Bob
okay.
Emilio, I'll
That's
get this right. And he is the Coordinator of Accessibilities, also from the Lehigh Valley SIL. I'm going to be quiet and let you guys take it on. Give us the information.
Sure. I guess I'll start out real quick. Like Abilities in Motion, we're the Center for Independent Living. We cover Lehigh, Northampton counties with our core services. But outside of that, we have different programs and initiatives that are related to accessibility and assistive technology, funded through various different sources. So the assistive technology end of it is funded through grants that we have through Temple University. Okay. So it's under the Pennsylvania Initiative on Assistive Technology, or PIAT, and we may speak in alphabet soup, and I apologize for that in advance. But the assistive technology end of things is a grant we provide assistive tech resources for a 7-county region. So we cover Lehigh, Northampton, but also Carbon, Monroe, Luzerne, Berks, and Schuylkill counties. So we're down in your neck of the woods here a little bit. And pretty much the goal of our assistive technology programs is to provide people with the AT that they need to live and work more independently. And that's the goal of everything that we do.
I heard that acronym, AT, Assistive Technology.
Assistive Technology, yep,
All right,
pretty much.
Great.
So we can run down a couple of there are different streams of different, I guess, streams of funding that come through, and with each stream of funding has different programs and things with it. And the main thing is that we are a resource center for TechOwl, and TechOwl is the assistive tech lending library that is available to any Pennsylvanian with a disability. There's a big warehouse full of all different types of great assistive technology that is available to anyone to borrow for a 28 to 30-day period. Yep. And honestly, it's anything from a communication device to laptops to, they used to have fishing pole holders for that attached to your wheelchair. So honestly, anything that could be assistive technology, they have it out there.
The nice part about the lending library, too, is that somebody can try something out before they go out and buy it.
Yes.
You're saving a lot of money, because you can end up with a lot of gadgets in your house that you don't use because you bought it before you tried it out. So it works really well.
So there is no cost then to try it out?
No.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful.
Yep,
Wonderful.
no cost.
And also through TechOwl, we have the TDDP program.
Yep.
Right?
All right. More acronyms for you.
Tell us about that. TDDD?
TDDP.
Oh, TDDP.
Yeah, so
Got
it's like a free special phone program through the TechOwl services that we also provide. And we provide demos of all the different types of phones that they offer. Phones for people who are hard of hearing, They're amplified. Some have captions. Some are cordless. Some recorded. They also have the Lucia phone, which is a cell phone, so you can kind of take it with you, and it's kind of neat. You can press the buttons and it'll talk back to you.
Oh, okay.
It's amplified. It's hearing aid compatible. So they offer a lot of different options for people to find out. We provide the demo so they can see what's best for them.
Is that phone actually available to seniors also, just due to the hard of hearing and not being able to?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. It's
great.
available to anyone.
Great.
Yep. Anyone who thinks that it would work for them, they can use it. It's pretty simple too. But
And there's other cell phone products that are coming out too. I think they're using an iPhone.
Yep.
I think it's an iPhone 8 that they're using.
yeah, 8 Plus.
A lot of the iPhones have built-in accessible assistive technology built in for people with disabilities. Like for somebody who's blind, they press the button and it'll tell them what thing they're clicking on, what app they're clicking on, and they can use a cell phone like everybody else, even though they have a vision impairment.
Oh, wonderful.
So they work really well.
Yeah, the free special phone program, it used to just solely be caption telephones and amplified telephones, and primarily for home phone use.
Okay.
They expanded into the wireless end of things last year. We really actually started hitting things heavy with the wireless expansion of the project back in like October. And like Bob said, there's the iPhone, and like Ralph mentioned and showed off, the Lucia phone. There's also, we have a Samsung phone as well. It's a Galaxy
S8.
S8, I think.
Okay.
Must be the 8 range,
Yeah.
something like that. There's also an iPad that people can get. There is a Galaxy tablet as well. The bed shaker is part of that as well. The bed
Yep.
shaker's part of that as well. This is pretty cool. It's like a device that if you're very hard of hearing or someone who's deaf, actually really if you're very hard of hearing and you need more notification, like if your phone's ringing or something like that, or if your alarm's going off, it's honestly used for various things. They actually have bed shakers too that a lot of parents who are deaf use for baby monitors. And they'll shake the bed and stuff like that. So that is also part of it.
So that goes in between the mattress, right?
Yep,
And then
yep.
person
Shove
can
it
feel
between
it,
the mattress and the box spring, and it shakes pretty good.
So you can okay.
you'll
Oh, yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's good for people who travel a lot too.
Yes.
If they're at a hotel and you can't hear the phone ring or your cell phone go off for your alarm, it's pretty easy to pack. You bring it with you when you travel.
One of the things I was thinking about, do actually cell phone providers, are they aware of these different things, or does the person have to contact like the CIL directly to get information about these things?
That's a good question.
Great question.
So Temple University is really kind of they broker a lot of those deals.
Okay.
We get our demo phones through Temple, and then a lot of the paperwork gets sent directly to Temple. Temple works with a group called Raz Mobility, who sets up a lot of the phones for demos, and also will set up the devices that include a lot of accessibility features and things like that on it. They'll put on like shortcuts and stuff like that, so people can access the accessibility features of their phones a little bit quicker. Raz is really the one that handles a lot of those pieces of it. But yeah, Temple, there is quite a process to go through with to get one of the devices.
Oh, okay.
So it's all based on income eligibility.
Okay.
And there's a little application process. You need to provide some additional documentation, proof of income. There's a couple other things.
I think you need like a professional to sign off on it, verifying that you do have a disability.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like
a
that.
physician or something?
Yeah, I think, like a doctor specialist
Okay.
too. Yeah, stuff like that. But
Okay.
And once you get a device, if I applied, I'm sorry, I hit my mic. If I applied and I got a Lucia device, and everything was hunky-dory and works out for me, I wouldn't be able to apply for another one of those devices through the free special phone program for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Yep.
So, gentlemen, we were talking earlier about technology. Are you then trained on the phone, how to use it, how to use the different devices? Will they give in-depth training like I would need?
That's Ralph. That's Ralph's department.
Okay, you train.
Yeah, so go out to a consumer's home who needs a demo, and you try to get in contact with them beforehand to kind of get a grasp of what they're looking for.
Okay.
Whether it's a cell phone or a home phone, maybe they specifically want a home phone, but it's cordless. So that kind of narrows down what what you'll bring. And then usually what I'll do when I go, if they're looking for the home phone, I'll hook it right up to their existing landline.
Okay.
And then, kind of go through it and say, okay, this is how you would set your answering machine. This is how you would, make a call. Sometimes if we're lucky, a call actually comes through and they can use the phone for like one call to kind of see how loud it is,
Okay.
or, things like that. With the cell phone, it's a little bit more complicated because this phone, since it's a demo, doesn't have like a plan. So you can really only show them the features like installed in the phone. You can't really do a call.
Oh, okay.
But at least it talks back to you, so you can kind of see how loud it'll get and get a basic idea of how it would work. This
So
setting.
if somebody would call us and they say they want a demo, this is really the best way to go along to getting a device, is to see the different devices.
Yeah.
Instead of just you see one and you say, I think that's the one I want, and then you get it, and sure, it's a free phone, but now you're stuck with it. So it's
Yes.
good for
Yeah.
when we go out and do those personal visits to demonstrate the phones.
So if I'm almost hearing you gentlemen correctly, it's almost better for somebody to do the loaner process to see before they actually go out and even apply for getting the phone. Do you suggest that or not?
Yeah, Tech Owl pretty much wants you to try out the devices
Okay.
before you
Yeah.
you would buy them.
Yep.
Now the devices that are in the library, a lot of those devices are really expensive. Like some of the communicating boards,
Oh, okay.
they're really expensive. So somebody to try it out and find out it's something they really can use before they go out and purchase it.
Yeah, and a lot of the communication devices is a good example. A lot of speech-language pathologists borrow those devices from the lending library to use in therapeutic situations or in school settings and
Oh,
things
okay.
like that, and that's where a lot of those get borrowed out for that reason. The one little PSA we will throw out about the free special phone program, because it actually comes up quite a bit, is people really they apply for one of the phones and they really think they want a caption telephone,
Okay.
but it turns out I was probably 9 times out of 10 a caption telephone really isn't the best option.
Okay.
Caption telephones are great. They're a little bit older technology, and some people are really do enjoy and like them. But the one sticking point with them is if I'm an individual who has the caption telephone and I'm making a call to my doctor's office, that process goes right through a relay service. The captions will show up. It'll be easy. I can read the conversation as we go. But if my doctor's office called me and they didn't call through a relay service first, the captions wouldn't show up. So that is actually something that we find quite a bit when we go out and do and talk to consumers or do demos or things like that. Some people really think that the caption telephone is a good option for them. But honestly, some of the other phones that we have with the free special phone program are so amplified and hearing aid compatible and things that they will work just as well. But again, it's all consumer preference. It's
Right,
Consumer choice.
Individual, what they would like.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I know we've talked, I remember years ago I worked for a call center and I had what they call a relay call. I had no idea what it was. So when the person came on, tell us a little bit what that process looks like or what's it like? So I'm talking to somebody, talk to them about the relay.
So yeah, the relay service is really it's a free service that all caption telephones are kind of built in with that service.
Okay.
So you'll get connected to a person on the other end who is listening and is live transcribing the conversation. It's kind of like a real-time transcription, which would be like a CART, which is a captioning, or almost like court stenography, really.
Yes,
the
yes.
way they do it. But that's all happening in real time as if I had a caption telephone, if I was talking to my doctor or something like that, and they're captioning it right in real time for me. Now, if the doctor's office wanted to call me and have that conversation transcribed, the doctor would have to call that relay service first.
Oh, okay.
Which is free. It's an extra step though, and it's not built in.
Okay.
So it can be a little tough. Now there are caption telephones that do have things a little bit. They make it a little bit easier. There's phones that are internet compatible, and that's where the captioning is still. That's where it's all built in, and it would work. But sometimes we find that people don't really have internet, or internet access is limited, so it doesn't really work the best for them. Now, the other type of relay would be someone who's deaf and is calling through a transcribing service, or through an interpreting service rather.
Okay.
And that is someone who's deaf calls, and there's an interpreter on the other line, and the interpreter is interpreting what the individual is signing. That's all through video phones, and there's lots of great services out there. Things like Purple interpreting, and Purple phones and stuff like that a lot of consumers use.
A purple phone.
It's that's the company.
Okay.
They're not all purple.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm sure they do make some purple.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Good.
Yep.
I know some of our viewers really enjoy storytelling. They're real experiences, and it's someone telling their story who was dealing with telecommunication or assistive technology. Can any of you give us some stories where it was a success or where there were some struggles and they had to work through it?
I can give you a story.
Oh, yeah.
Just recently, I got an accessible van that has a ramp that comes out and a chair that goes back and turns so I can transfer to it, and I use hand controls. Now that was a joint venture, actually between three parties. It would be between myself buying the vehicle, which is just a basic vehicle, and then OVR, Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. They paid for the modifications that were done to the van, like the lowered floor and the ramp that comes out, hand controls, and that kind of thing. And then the other thing that comes in is there's a service program called Pennsylvania Assistive Technology Foundation. Now what they do is, and the acronym is PATF, that's what we usually go by. But what they do is they will give low interest loans for assistive technology. So any of this stuff that's borrowed and somebody sees what it's cost, they're not eligible for a free phone or some of the devices they need, they can go and apply with PATF, and they can get a low interest loan. Anything from $100 up to $2,000, there is no interest.
Oh, okay.
It's just a loan, and the other ones are 3.75% interest. It's really good. So the nice part was with my van, they would do the loan for the van, that my portion that I have to pay, and they would guarantee that loan is going to be able to go through. So I get that low interest rate of 3.75. So that works really well. So if any assistive technology that somebody wants to get and you don't have the money for, you could go to PATF. And that also includes, like, say, sporting equipment. Somebody could get a racing chair through there, a tennis chair, they can get a crossbow for hunting, all those kind of things they can put through an application and be able to pay for it with low rates and low per monthly charges for it. So that works out really well.
Great. I know in the beginning of the show we gave our contact information, but Greg, why don't you give some information concerning the Lehigh Valley SIL if persons would have
Sure.
want to call you all and find out more information? Why don't you give that information out?
Sure. Anybody that has any or wants to call us, our number is 610-770-9781. If you hit extension 123, that goes right to Ralph for any information. And then you can also email atinfo@lvcil.org, and that will actually go to all of us. And just a catch-all so people, so we get back to people.
Great, wonderful.
Someone will see it.
Yep, for sure.
Bob, you have something sitting in front of you. What is that?
These here?
Yes.
Oh,
What is
these are for somebody wants to exercise and they don't have grip to be able to go in the bars. I'm not sure how this one goes.
Yeah, right on the
Okay.
wrist. Yep.
Right
You
on the
just
wrist.
Tighten it.
and then you tighten this down. Then somebody can
I can.
use this loop to like do pull downs or different
okay.
things.
Yeah, it can-
And the same with that setup there.
This one's a little more for,
These are
for a
called-
bar that would go over.
These
go
are
over top the bar.
active hands.
Yep, and these are the loop ones are great too for like gripping bike handles, like hand bike handles, stuff like that, cardio machines. And then yeah, these are the hook aid gripping aids are also really good for like lat pull downs at the gym. And this company is really great. They're based out of England, and we've been in contact with them, and they've sent us some demo stuff, and we're trying to promote it a little bit for people to kind of get out and get active. Hence the active hands. But they make other gripping aids too, where you can hold free weights like dumbbells, kettlebells, things like that, in fitness or health clubs.
And pens too, even things to hold
Yeah,
pens and
pens,
other things,
knives,
utensils.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a good find. I wasn't even aware of this until Ralph did some digging and found it and talking to people across the pond.
Wow, wonderful. So it is a possibility if you're watching today and you want to be more active, you want to go to the gym. There are things that are available to persons that would like
Absolutely.
to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it a difficult process though?
It's a different process.
Different, okay.
You basically adapt to what you want to do. Like if you want to play basketball, you get a basketball chair that's set up for playing basketball. You get a racing chair, you do the same thing. Just little adaptations. And when you're playing tennis, the only difference between you and somebody standing playing is the person who's in the wheelchair can take the ball on 2 bounces. So everything else is the same. The court is the same. All the lines are used. The net is the same height. Everything. So you're able to then, with that specialized piece of equipment, you're able to play tennis and maybe play tennis with some of your friends that are standing.
Wow.
So that works really well. But it's just a matter of adapting to the sport you want to do.
We've given a lot of information in the 30 minutes, and as I think about, we're in a new year, a new beginning, you gentlemen have given persons options, things that they might have thought they never could do, or technology that would assist them in their everyday lives. This is wonderful. We sure appreciate it. In closing, do you have any last remarks or anything that you'd like to say?
Not that I can think of. I think we covered quite a bit. There is a lot. The assistive technology range of different types of assistive tech, there's just so much. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out.
That's the best thing. Give us a
Yeah.
call. Hey, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think? How could I do this? How could I pay for it? And we can set that up.
Yeah, if you have any questions, it can never hurt to just call, get some info, and we'll figure out a solution from there.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And we love to learn about new stuff too.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you're using something different, or if you know of something that is kind of new or innovative, and you're using something a different way, we love to hear that because that could help somebody else too.
Sure. Wonderful. Well, again, gentlemen, thank you so much for traveling and thank you for the information. We want to let you know if you're interested, you can contact us or you can actually contact the Lehigh Valley SIL. Please don't watch and think I can't do this. There is a way. Can we say that together? There is a way
There is a
for
way,
persons to be able to do things. We want to let you know that our upcoming show next month will be on voting. We really have to start preparing for that. So put it on your calendar, mark it, and remember, if you have questions, give us a call.
Disabilities, issues, and updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living.
you.